The Terrible Warriors are brought to you by supporters from patreon.com/Terrible Warriors. Today, on The Terrible Warriors, return to the City of Calypso, the Sunrise City, a city of mirrors and drugs and pride, and at the center of this city, a murder. Our 4 investigators have zeroed in on an answer. They now know who killed Stephen Prince, but why and how. Method and motive. Without those, all they have is circumstantial evidence and an unreliable eyewitness report. But time is running out, and slowly our investigators are becoming suspects themselves. And as they place their very lives on the line to solve this murder, we return to Noirlandia. And our investigators in the City of Calypso, they are your Terrible Warriors. Thank you for joining us on the Terrible Warriors. Are you guys ready? You don't look already. You're still putting on your headphones. Did I jump into that a little bit?
That's because you literally just ran back into the room. I'm lifting the curtain and I'm letting everyone in. Look, you didn't even shut the door.
Close the door. I'm Justin Ecock. We're playing Noirlandia. Hi, everybody. We're into our 3rd episode. We're getting closer to figuring out what actually happened. We actually had spend a little time between the episodes, just kind of like, what just happened? So we're gonna catch you up. There's maybe a little retconning, but I'll catch you up on the course of the investigation. Before I do that, let me introduce you to our investigators in the City of Calypso, the City of Sunrise. We have
everyone did Justin.
Investigating the murder of famed author Stephen Prince. Famed. Grew up in the Shades, moved to the Crystal Maze, and then found dead in the office of his own editor. Oh! But don't worry, because we're on the case. We're gonna find out who did it. Working kind of creepily. But first on the scene, discovering the truth that he was, in fact, dead. Fortune.
Yes.
From the Shatters.
Hello.
The Skid Row of our town.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry,
It's great. It's covered in broken glass. It's a nice place.
She's on her way up.
Come visit.
To the glass side. To a deluxe apartment in Glassy Sky. And also on the case, arriving days later to discover he was still dead.
I was waiting for the check to clear.
But my God, did you not have a full breakthrough on the case? And we're going to get through what that all means. We have our private eye. From the Shades, but he works in the core, and no one must know his true identity. We have
Shane Fitzgerald playing Marcus Bigby, and I'm hoping somebody out there gets the reference.
Bigby Wolf.
Yes.
Fables, of course, Fables. And
I don't need you out there. I have someone
Justin
here.
took that from you.
And so second on the scene, but still nowhere near the crime scene. He is the person putting together all the fringe elements of our investigation into detail, and is the reason why we have now had enough connections to find the answer. Our first answer in this murder mystery, we have the old man himself from the Shades.
Hello.
The industrialist. Hello, children.
Hello, stay a while and listen.
Yes. Your name?
Shane. Hi.
Shane. And I'm playing, we haven't actually seen his character play much except when he's doped up, Marty Silver, the
but he's
editor
always doped
of
up.
Silver Press, who was actually at the scene of the crime. We learned last week who did it. We have a name. We don't know the motive and we don't know the method, but we know who did it. It was our new witness, Cheryl Dawson, cornered at the elevator by our private eye at Silver Editing Press. Fingered Chris Chapman. And the leads we used to determine that that was the answer, that she was correct, and we were able to corroborate. We used the potent chemical that was also found during the course of that investigation, something that was dropped at the office. She didn't know the name. I know we said Chris Chapman, she knew the name last week, but we were like, that doesn't make any sense. She knew the potent chemical. It was like, I saw the person, I could point them out. And we were like, is this the person? Yes, that's the person. Because she dropped the potent chemical, or the killer dropped the potent chemical on the floor. The potent chemical is connected to the map of the molecule found in the workshop of Prince, which is connected through Liz Moran to the Shades document that was in his hand that night. Those three, the potent chemical and the molecule map, that connect to the official document are the 3 leads we used to verify the identity of this killer. That's him! I'd recognize that face anywhere. As Chris Chapman. We now know who did it, but we don't know why. Why would Chris Chapman kill famed author Stephen Prince over a potent chemical? What is he even doing involved in the drug industry of this city? He writes really good stories that encourage young women in the Shatters to live a great, idealized, vanity-filled life.
Through fan fiction.
Through fan fiction, through glimmer fiction.
Oh, yes.
And why did Chris Chapman kill Stephen Prince? We don't know. How did Chris Chapman kill Stephen Prince? We don't know. But we're closer than ever to finding out the truth, dear listeners. And unfortunately, it's my turn for a scene because you've all gone once, and the rules say I have to go now.
Unfortunately, he says.
Which means you're now all my GM. We're 3 episodes in, and I'm finally relinquishing my control. I am not used to this. For 5 years on Terrible Warriors, I've almost always been the GM or a ridiculously overpowered character like the real Professor Oak, who was never meant to be a player character anyways and was basically God. I trust you. Do you know the rules of this game enough to help me through paying attention?
I mean, this is probably a bad idea, but we're doing it anyway. Let's go.
Yeah.
When we last saw Marty Silver, he was being interrogated by Marcus Bigby.
Right.
Marcus had to take off because the secretary was a fucking witness? What the fuck? So Marty's having a bit of a crisis. He wants to know who killed his friend Steven. He wants to know that the world isn't going to think he's like the one who killed Stephen Prince, because right now the press is not having a great time with him. And
I mean, the
finally
press is having a great
putting
time with him, but
himself-
he's not having a great time with the press.
he's finally putting himself into this mix. And when he learns that Chris Chapman, this person from the Shades, he's like, well, fuck, I gotta go to the Shades. I gotta find out what happened. Stephen Prince is from the Shades. Everyone, my secretary is from the Shades. The private eye won't tell me where he's from, which makes me think he's from the Shades, but he won't tell me his secret. I'm done. I'm done being in the core, staying in the light. I'm not gonna find any answers here, and every time I just take more drugs, it just seems to get worse. So I'm going to the Shades, and I'm kicking down doors, and I want to know what's going on because I want to clear my name. I'm not even on the board, and I'm convinced that I think I'm going to be on the board soon. I have a trusted reputation.
Mm-hmm.
I have an able body and a calm mind, but my heart feels guilty. I feel like I pushed Stephen Prince into this life, and I'm the reason why he's dead. Probably not the truth. That's not how it's looking on the board now anyways.
I mean, you're on a lot of drugs.
I mean, most of these things take place in the Crystal Maze and the Shades. I have, like, nothing to do with any of this drug nonsense. Oh, I just edit fucking teen romance novels, for God's sakes. So I'm heading to the Shades.
I thought I was into good literature. Thanks for that.
You're my GMs. You're my support. I want to meet someone here in the Shades. We can draw randomly. I want to ask questions. I want to find out who Chris Chapman is. I want to find out how this all connects to me. And why is Chris dead? I want to answer these questions. And to do that, I need to learn more information. I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the Shades. I don't know enough about the Shatters. I need to know more about this city that I apparently call home. That was pretty good. Was that a 6 of diamonds?
All right, Shane, why don't you draw a card because you have the list.
That's what I was
And you also have your dramatic hits if you want to like interrupt.
Yep.
If you feel
Yeah,
like the
we were
scene
playing
is
I
good.
want you to meet
That
someone first.
fucking worked so hard. Great. That
Yeah,
a
I
witness
just-
bolt.
I just want you to meet someone first.
Got it.
All right.
You got it.
Ooh, Ace of Hearts. And let's
So this
an Ace of
person, I want to talk
Hearts
to a
is-
person.
Okay, you're talking to a mastermind from the core.
But in the Shades.
No, I'm in the Shades.
Okay.
Do we want to have this person being from the core, like blocking me, or do you want to just have
No, I
ignore
think
the suit and just be the value that we're looking for?
I think you made it there.
Yeah, you're talking
It's
to
more
me.
interesting
You're
if
in
you
the
made it
shades.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to play this mastermind from the Shades?
I
I
vote
mean,
for
you-
Shane.
Which one?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
You haven't played anyone yet.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
got it.
I mean, are you the mastermind from the shades, you old man? Or I can give you from our Patreon list.
Give me a name from the Patreon list, and I'll.
It is going to be Mark Brooks.
Mark Brooks.
Marcus, Marty, Mark.
Got it. Mark this. Mark.
Thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
Thanks, Mark.
So this is a new person, and you might as well write this index card down. You'll have ownership over this NPC. And he's a mastermind. He's the person to talk to. Everyone tells me he's got the answers I need.
So I'm assuming you walk up to him and he's on the street. Is he kind of obvious? I think he's kind of obvious. He's not.
Ask your GMs.
GMs? How do you think Mark is?
I think considering the way the Shades is supposed to be, there's probably some kind of underground element. And this Mark Brooks would probably be in charge of said element.
So he's a dwarf. Underground. Bree? Any suggestions for this Mark character? Where can he be found?
He can be found in your nearest bar, but it's not a bar in the way in which we think of them.
It's an actual bronze bar.
It is literally a bronze bar, and they will serve you only water. You are welcome.
Out of the bar.
Could be the
Just pours out,
So-
like a
Pours
faucet.
out of the
be-
bar.
So Mark Brooks
could be
is
the milk bar from A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, they don't serve you anything that would actually impede your judgment. You're supposed to be sober out here.
Mark Brooks is in the underground water bar, being completely sober.
But this is a good place to go to
It's
collect
also a place
information.
of impulse, and like there's music playing and there's poetry being read. Like the thing is about the Shades is I feel like it's a place full of passion, but sober passion. Where the opposite in the core, everyone's on drugs, but no, everyone's puritanical and repressing themselves, and they never really reveal their emotions and their
So
feelings.
is
and
the bar called like the fuck bar? Like just up right in your face?
well-
I'm joking.
Okay, I was just like, okay, maybe it's just called Smoke and Mirrors.
Okay. Smoking.
Yeah, the joke's on you. They're all called smoke and mirrors. They're not terribly original. They're sober.
They're trying their best. They're trying their best with the Shades. So we walk into the Smoke and Mirror, and I walk into the Smoke and Mirror, and I'm looking for Mark Brooks.
So Mark Brooks is at the back. He's sitting at a table. He's having his glass of water. Do you walk up to Mark Brooks?
I do, because I feel like I still own the joint. Like I'm in my press suit. I don't know what I'm doing.
He's all
saved
bright
the
and
city.
shiny.
I saved the city from itself with advertising and young adult romance novels. So I walk up to Mark Brooks and I just like, are you Mark Brooks?
Yes. Who's asking?
Because like I live always with dignity, remember. So I'm everyone's gonna know who I am.
And you got Mark Brooks' name like on the way out here.
And I hand him my business card.
can I see your business card?
I hand him my business card.
Oh, this is
And,
actually a really nice business card.
And it's got like it's silver. It's got silver.
Yeah, silver.
It's
embossed.
embossed.
Your words in silver.
Yeah,
It's nice.
exactly. And it's actually because it's like silver on white. It's really hard to read, actually.
Yeah, I gotta like hold up to like the gaslight and like to kind of tilt it to see the words.
He like licks his finger so that some of the like soot on his finger, you can rub it and like see the embossing on the card so you can actually read it.
And he goes,
Hello.
I just need to know more about Stephen Prince. I need to know more
Stephen
about
Prince.
this place.
He left here about 10 years ago. I got a different voice. But, like, he's done well for himself. You know, he's got a little bit into the drugs, as you do.
By the way, when you walked in here, I just drew a card. When you walked in here, you were targeted by a dangerous professional.
Okay.
Who's playing the dangerous professional?
Can we get like a few more words in before like somebody shoots him in the back of the head?
No, you were targeted. They're not doing anything yet.
So we're having this conversation, but I'm
There
not
you
going to learn anything from my conversation with you. We're
Because
gonna
of
have a back and
challenge here.
forth.
Yeah.
But the challenge roll is gonna happen when I leave, when I get out into the alleyway, so I just want to know about like you. I mean, I don't have any questions.
You have any questions? Like you came out asking. I thought you came out asking for Chris Chapman.
Chapman.
Chris Chapman. I mean, It's just a name. What's this name? How does he fit into anything?
And remember, you don't necessarily want to help him because he is a bright and shiny city kid who just handed you the hardest to read card.
Let's forward the clock then. I don't get any answers from you. This is interesting. This is more interesting. Targeted by a professional. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be in the shades. I'm not even hiding.
You
my
were
identity.
literally shiny.
I
You
was
have
literally-
painted a target
I've
on
got,
your
like,
back out of
LED
silver
lights
satin.
on me. Yeah. And on my way out, who's targeting me?
He looks like he was dipped in glitter.
And who wants to play that professional? Is it targeted by a professional? Is that what it says?
Yeah, it says targeted by a professional, by a dangerous professional. is
So a
what it says.
hitman. So who wants to play this hitman?
I pulled a dangerous professional salesman hitman. Is that even a thing?
No, we don't have to randomly
No,
drop it. We
stop
just got a
drawing
dangerous professional from the shades. Walks in. Who would like to play that character?
I'll take it. I drew it. I'll take it.
Okay. So on my way out of the smoke and mirror, and I'm feeling like I'm never gonna find answers here. Lo and behold, an answer finds me.
In perfect contrast to your sharp suit, there's somebody wearing kind of a shapeless, like dark brown outfit, and they've got a hood up over their head. You can't even see who they are. But they're sitting by a table near the door, and when you leave, they follow you into the back alley that
Why
you've decided to take.
No, why would I do that?
Why would you do that?
What are they gonna do to me?
And then when you head down this alley, because you don't know where you're going, all of the streets here look the same. It's dark. You don't know that this is a terrible back alley. When you head down that alley,
should.
the person, well, I mean, everything is dark to you, right?
No mirrors here. How am I supposed to know when people are sneaking up behind me when there's no mirrors here?
Exactly. So you don't get more than about half a dozen steps into the alley when this person just tackles you, pushes you up against the wall, and puts their elbow into your throat and goes, "You are a long way from home." What?
Roll for challenge. Okay, I actually get a second white die because we already have an answer on the board. You get an extra white die for every answer on the board, and you get an extra black die for every escalated district. I know who Chris Chapman is maybe something I might yell out. Do I want to fight you?
You
or
get
do I wanna-
attacked, and that's
do I
all
wanna
you yell.
talk you through this? I don't even
I
know.
mean,
if
this
is the supporters
this
get to
is a-
decide what I'm rolling against.
This is a dangerous professional, so I don't know if you want to roll against, because I know the dangerous professional would like to do the roll against just physical might.
The supporters get to decide what stat
Yeah, that's why I'm
rolling
looking at you guys.
against. This isn't up to me for the challenge. This is your challenge.
This does seem very much like a body situation.
I
Yes.
was getting no dice, so I'll just roll it too.
Okay. So then I get one, right? Do I get one black
trait
die?
dice. Oh, I only get this for investigation rolls, so I only get to roll one die.
Okay, so it's 1v1.
1v1.
Let's do this shit.
Compare, one black die. You'd only get an extra black die if I had a lower stat on this. So
Okay.
I fuck 6.
It's a 1.
Oh,
Hooray!
This dangerous professional fumbled real hard.
I reach into my breast pocket while the knife is up against my back, and I pull out one of the downers that the police gave me in like a vial, like a little like hypo spray needles thing, and I just kind of like stick it behind my shoulder, right into you, and you just go. And this thing is like, this is stuff that the police hand out in emergency situations, so it hits you, boom,
Yeah, real hard.
You're
and
down.
this is someone who does not take drugs recreationally.
Yeah,
so
yeah, no one
suddenly
in
it's
the
just
shades
like,
does. There's no
what
tolerance.
just happened? This is
And you're just
witchcraft.
and
floor.
slow motion.
And we'll just like floor.
Because that's, I guess, what I get to do when I roll a 6 against a 1 is I
so
get
what
to,
you
Just
just
stab someone with a
I have no
hypodermic needle.
business being this great.
you just pumped some random woman full of slow mo is what you did.
And now I'm going to interrogate her. What do you know about Chris Chapman? I then say with my knee against her neck, I'm really on a lot of speed. I'm really wound up today. So I get a dice, and I get another one for a victory, and I get another one for an answer.
And then we all get one.
And you all get one black dice, and there were no challenges lost. There's no escalations. And I want to just make sure I get to roll these dice, or which ones end up in the bargain bin. Protagonist white dice are on the white, bargain dice are below. There was a handy little it's one of these reference sheets I printed out for you all. Is it over here on this
I
side?
don't know. Honestly,
know?
I honestly don't
You
know.
don't know? No! I don't know. Here it is.
Yay.
You will always start with 2 dice and 3 dice. I might also add dice for a positive condition, which I don't. And in addition, a supporter might roll dice for a successful challenge, and each answer your group is found. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. And
Okay, and we're all gonna roll
supporters are going to roll an additional white dice that they can then use for a bargain.
So one each. Is
So
one for you.
I would give 1 to you and then 1 to the other supporter that was in the smoky mirror.
Yeah, because you could come out and be like, that guy is gonna.
Yeah,
that
I'll
guy's
help
gonna get
you out,
murdered.
but you got to do this for me or take a condition hit, right? So we're gonna roll in. Here we go. Tell me what you know. I roll 4s.
Okay.
So
I
then,
have a black 4.
well, the black 4
And
goes
a
up
black
here,
4.
and
Four.
another black 4.
And a black
And a
one.
1. A shit. Fuck, that kills me. Am I gonna die here in the shades in my very first scene? Maybe. So I have now. Did you roll your bargain dice as well?
Those are your bargain
So
dice.
the bargain dice, we got
Or
a
a
1
3 and a
and
1.
3. God damn, you guys stink.
I mean, you stabbed me.
I can and these are 4s. I can only break one of these ties, and I'd have to break my principle. Well, that makes sense. I mean, obviously, I'm going to break my dignity. I'm not being very dignified. So I'm going to break that fucking tie, and I'm going to break the 4 and the 1 so I don't die.
When he was attacked in the
So I
alleyway, he
get 2 hits
literally
on a 4.
peed himself.
Now, if I miss on a 4, I take a damage to a condition, and none of the bargains are going to help me. So I'm going to take a damage to my condition,
Okay.
and I'm going to lose my reputation.
You did just pee yourself in an alleyway in the shades.
Or, no, you know what? Maybe this whole stress, my mind goes down.
I could see that.
That makes
You've
total
never been
sense.
attacked before.
I go from, I'm not calm. It's actually literally says I'm calm right now.
Oh no,
So-
you were
Very
definitely
not
at
calm.
least conflicted.
I'm going down to conflicted. that is a
You just stabbed
I'm
someone for
having
the
a
first time.
really
You are conflicted.
stressful day. So I rolled the so that's my hit. And then I break. I'm not behaving with dignity. So I got 2 hits on a 4, which both means I get a connection or a random lead. So I will get a connection and I will get a random lead.
Okay.
So I want to know how Chris Chapman fits into all of this.
Right.
Chris Chapman do I want to go with the industrial connection or do I want to make him Liz Moran's lover? Because that will completely change the outcome of this game. Chris Chapman is the killer.
Yes.
How does Chris Chapman link into all of this? We were all thinking it was going to be the potent drug.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely. That is what Cheryl
But-
said,
That is what Cheryl said, that he dropped it there.
that he dropped it.
But the potent drug is only connected to the map. Like, that's just her word right
Yeah,
now.
that's her word. We have no idea whether she was telling the truth or not.
The potent drug is only connected to the map, which is, the map is still connected to Liz Moran.
Mm-hmm.
The drug isn't connected directly to Liz,
No.
but it is connected through a series. Chris Chapman is going to link to Liz. Because that's... Chris Chapman
Liz, we
and
hardly
Liz,
knew you.
Because we were maybe thinking there was something going on between her and Stephen Prince. And maybe there was, but there was also something going on between her and Chris Chapman. They were more than business partners.
Dipping into the dark there, are we?
So the other connection, so that's that. So then a random lead, a new lead is going to be added into this game. It's going to be a 7 of diamonds.
7 old diamonds.
7 of diamonds.
Leads.
Okay, so for leads, you've got an out-of-towner, a restaurant, or a disguise.
For 7,
Yeah.
out of towner, a restaurant, or a disguise. I actually kind of like the. This is in the diamonds. This is a restaurant in the Crystal Maze. So somehow in my interrogation, maybe while I got the neck down on this professional, a little matchbook falls out.
Oh, and it's from this
To-
restaurant
to, like,
in. The Crystal Maze.
A restaurant in the Crystal Maze.
What's it called?
What is this restaurant in the Crystal Maze called?
We're all just looking at Justin. None of us are helping.
Yeah, I know you're all putting me here on the spot. Why would I? Why would I choose
all the
this?
glitters.
Why would I just choose the disguise?
Sunny Side Up.
The sunny side up.
Oh fuck! No, I can't think of anything else.
That's it. That's what it's called. That's it. We're done.
Sunny side up. It's one of those silly throwback places,
Well, just Sunnyside.
like Johnny Rockets.
Sunny side.
Sunnyside is a little more minimalist, and it's like this pre-Glass City Crystal Maze diner. It was like there before the Crystal
retro.
Maze. It's very like yeah. The sunny side. It's always sunny in the Crystal Maze.
But just gently sunny.
So yeah. So anyway, that I
That's it. You got a matchbook. Good job. Because I am too loopy to tell you shit.
And
Good job. You
the
stabbed me in the
professional-
eyeball.
The professional doesn't become a lead because they're too loopy, and they're not really connected to this investigation. They're just connected to the
drooling.
shades. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but they're able to answer some questions about Chris Chapman. But they're not they're not a lead in this investigation, unless we made them a. What was the identity was the out of towner, but it would I guess I could have made the professional the out of towner,
Probably.
but
I
whatever.
like the matchbook.
This
I'm too
random
loopy.
lead, I like it. It's the Sunnyside restaurant in the Crystal Maze. If someone wants to go visit there and follow up on that lead, is a new lead on the board. That's it. That's the end of my scene. Now, with all of us we've all done a scene. We've got one answer. We now get to go through it again. We can do it in any order. I could immediately follow up with a scene at the Sunnyside, and then be done, and then let the three of you go through your scenes. Or if someone has been like really itching now, like it's been a while, the Shanes and Bree, since you've had your go at it, if you want to have a follow up that you'd like to see, like where's Fortune? What's Fortune doing right now?
Shane, when you mouth things at me, I can't tell what you're saying, so you have to stop. You have to actually say it out loud.
No, it's not as fun.
Where is Fortune, Bree?
Oh, it's me, is it?
It doesn't have to be. I mean, I just want to know what's Fortune been doing since she like saw a body.
I mean, I'm in my mind. She saw the body, freaked out. Police were like, "What the hell?" Put her back outside on downers. Couple days to kind of come back to herself, right?
Yeah.
A lot of downers. Good shit. So it takes her a couple days to come back to herself. Eventually, she
I've got
kind
a
of
little bit of a bloodlust going on now with Marty. That surprised me. So, like, I'm gonna fucking break your neck.
You're welcome.
I'm having a bad day. So
It's
great.
taken her a couple days to kind of come back to herself. I imagine that she's been, somebody just found her in the core and probably put her back on a train. And I want to say she wound up like so loopy, she wound up back in the shade. Like somebody just dumped her on a train because they're like, you don't belong in the core. What are you doing here?
You've got the shattered,
Oh, I
family
took
heirloom.
that.
and you could try and follow up on that lead, and be like, who made this? Where does it? And why does Stephen Prince have an heirloom from the shattered?
Right.
Or you can end up in the shade. I mean, everyone wants to go to the shade. It's
Everyone
like the
kind of wants
coolest
to be in the
place
shade
town.
now. I do have
It's
the
so much
starburst.
better in the shade before all those out of towners and people from downtown start.
I do have
Like
the
it's really getting
starburst
gentrified
heirloom.
lately.
I do have the starburst heirloom card. Like I could literally just dictate what happens with that. And it's not currently connected to anything.
Do you
Okay,
want to wait
so
on your
I'm
scene and let someone else go while you mull over that?
no, I'll just go because
Okay.
unless anyone else is like really raring at the bit, but nobody else is jumping in, so I'm gonna just run with it. So she gets thrown back on a train. Winds up. Luckily, someone she knows sees her on the train. It's just like, oh my god, what have you done? Kind of drags her back home. So she's back in the Shattered. Wakes up there a couple days later. Doesn't super know what's going on. Has to rediscover all over again that her favorite author has died, and then it all comes back to her very quickly. Saw a body. Oh god. And then
Yeah, that's an image that's gonna be burned there.
yeah, it's there forever. I've made some poor life choices. So, but she has this starburst heirloom because obviously she took it. And every family in the Shattered makes these heirlooms a little bit differently, right? Because everyone there is so busy, like basically stabbing each other in the back with broken glass, like trying to get into the core. Everyone makes them differently, so there's not really one way to do any of this. So if you know enough about an object, you can roughly say, oh, like this looks like it belongs to this family. I've seen this kind of thing before. So she does ask around a little bit, manages to find where, people think that this seems like the family that this is from. And she goes, oh, well, they're not even that far from me. So she picks her way through the broken glass and goes to see the family.
I don't even know if I want to use this dramatic hit, but you want to go meet this family, and I rolled a seduced card?
10 out of 10, let's do this.
Play this out.
My character's really into romance novels, you told me, so you're stuck now.
Okay.
So I go up and I knock on the door.
By the way, I think your romance novel should be called 50 Shadows of Grey.
Done.
Oh.
You guys.
I knocked on the door.
So,
It's probably crunchier than that, but I'm not breaking this glass.
yeah, so you, the Shatter maybe even, like, they take the glass and the mirrors from the rest of the city, but these are, like, older pre-glass. They just kind of, like, stick them on, like, decoration.
Yeah, it's like a mosaic, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
they're
a
all, like,
little bit
put
like a
together
mosaic,
puzzles.
and some of them are broken, and that's why they were taken off, and they just took as many of the shards as they could. But sometimes if somebody gets a really good mirror, your neighbors get pissed off, and then they break it.
Okay, I was thinking of a club in the Shatter that would be called, like, 7 Years. So,
It's my favorite place.
So, who wants to answer the door here when it knocks on this family place? There's nothing to do here. There's no dramatic.
Here
hit
we
with seduced.
go.
You got this.
What do you mean there's no seduced card? I'm heartbroken.
Okay, so
There's no character yet. You're seduced by the crunching glass.
I just really like this door, guys.
okay, so I open the door, correct? To see who's out there. What do you want?
I mean, so when you open the door, I obviously belong here. Like, I
Right.
live in the Shattered. I definitely look like I live in the Shattered, and also like I've been on a several-day bender at this point, because I have. So, and I'm outside, and like literally I just like stick my hand in the door so that hopefully you're not going to close it on me. And I go, do you recognize this? And it's the Starburst heirloom.
And it's your family's Starburst heirloom.
Yeah, we make that. Where'd you get it?
And then suddenly I'm having a crisis because I did technically take this off of a dead body. So you see me have like a several second like, oh God, what have I done moment. And then I say, it belonged to an author named Stephen Prince. You've probably heard of him because this is yours and he had it. Just going up
And now
slowly.
you start seducing.
Here we go.
I rolled another. It's another seduced.
Now he starts,
God.
Dave,
Look,
starts
oh my
seducing
God.
more.
Pull another card, and it's another jack.
The world wants seduction to happen, okay?
So, what if this is like this?
You walked into a brothel.
What I'm thinking is, what if
I'm
Stephen
really thinking
Prince,
the other chain should have taken this because this
No,
is
no,
going
no.
to get really awkward.
Let's turn this around. Maybe he's not
No,
trying to
this is
seduce
fine.
her. Maybe he was trying to seduce Stephen Prince.
Oh.
This was something dear that he gave to someone dear. You give to family, right? We already established that as one of the rules.
You give it to your family when they leave.
What if Stephen and this man who just opened the door, he left, and this was a parting gift at the end of their relationship? Right? Like, this is, like, it comes out of nowhere,
I'm just
right?
wrapping my head
But
around the
fucking-
idea
yeah.
that we're automatically assuming gay. Okay.
Well, no, we've already established this person presents
I
his
mean, it
mail,
doesn't
open the door, and I'm
necessarily-
just rolling in seduction cards, and I was
And
like,
we just rolled 2
what if-
seduction cards, so what are we gonna do?
we got Liz Moran probably in love with Chris Chapman for no reason. that we know of, and not actually in connection with Stephen Prince like we thought.
I want an invite to your guys' wedding, by the way, on Patreon.
And now we've got this new character who's answered the door.
What's his new character's name?
We don't know. He's
He
only
doesn't have a
opened
name
the
yet.
door, but there's this moment like this starburst was for you, or it was made by you. Yeah, we make this. Where did you find it? We found it from Stephen Prince, and it was something that you give to someone who's going away, a member of your family.
So were they family like in the actual familial sense? Were they family in that you guys were super tight? Were they family in that you were in love? Like what? How were you family?
It's a good question.
I'm just saying, I draw two.
You
It's-
did draw
it's
two
two
seduction
seductions.
cards.
Yeah.
It's canon now.
Or was, I don't know, Stephen trying to seduce you? I don't know. Trying to.
He was your horrifying stalker. I love him so much more now.
He's just like,
You know what? You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually digging this. I'm actually kind of cool with this idea because it could be like this could be like a whole kind of scandal thing. Like he's a highly respected author and he's having a relationship with another man from the Shatters.
Well, and just having another relationship with someone from the Shatters.
Yeah, just
and
the
in a
Shatters
city that
is
was
enough.
already puritanical and no one discusses openly their sex lives, and it's really frowned upon any expression of that.
just
Yeah.
sex in general is
And
a
here he
no.
had a token of someone's affection on him. Maybe we're getting closer to the how. Or the what?
or
Not
the
how,
why.
like
Why.
very closely
Yeah.
to the why.
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is
But we have to do an investigation to get close to that.
Well, no, I haven't even had a
Yeah, we got to do the challenge roll.
I haven't even had a challenge roll. So I'm thinking you probably don't want to tell me.
Where's your reputation at?
Yeah, that's
Overlooked.
So you have an overlooked reputation, but there's no real conditions to add too many. It'll just be one-on-one.
It'd be 1-on-1.
You want to just roll that?
Yeah.
I don't want to put your mind or heart at work because I think
My mind is very. We don't want to go deeper. I would amusingly wind up at Shattered though, which is pretty great. Under Unhinged it says Shattered, and I kind of love that. But anyway,
don't worry, we'll get you there. Away we
And-
go.
it's a 6.
4. You
It's a
got
4.
Yeah, these dice are.
Is it a 6 or is it within 2? I think
It says you beat by 2.
you
so.
beat by 2. Yeah. So,
So
if you're
technically,
only within 1,
yeah,
it would be a
it
bargain.
worked. So he's gonna.
So there's this.
You're gonna tell me. Well, we're gonna get to the investigation anyway.
All right, well, then let's just roll the
So-
investigation.
Let's roll the investigation.
You succeed the challenge roll, and now it's into the investigation. So you get 2 dice that you always start with. There'll be another dice for the for winning the challenge, and another one for an answer that your group has found.
Amazing.
These are going to be bargain dice. You would have gotten an extra dice for a positive condition, which you don't have unless do you have any conditions in positive?
Body is in positive. Because I mean, I've been on a 2-day bender, but I'm strong.
I don't know how you could use body in this
I-
interrogation.
No, not unless this is where we brought in the seduction card. But this doesn't seem like it's gonna go terribly well.
Honestly, I don't think he's into you.
No, I don't think so, and this is weird.
So we'll then the 3 supporters will roll a black die, and I'll let you because you'll have the bargains. I'll let you
Yeah,
roll
you can have both
Shane
bargains.
the 2 white die. So away, Shane. Do you have a black die?
No, I do not have a black die.
Here, have a black die.
I got black
You got a black die. We'll put it in the center. And you got a black die, Shane?
I'll grab one.
You got to roll. We're rolling 3 black. There we go.
I got a 5 and a 6.
I got a 6.
Got a 3.
Okay, so
Oh, there are 2 6s. Okay.
this is a bargain die. We're gonna put over there.
Okay.
And then we'll pair up. There's the 6. And what was your black die, Shane?
My black die was a 2.
What was it 2?
Okay.
And that actually puts you on the board if you don't.
I know.
Clear that. And what were the 2 bargain die that you? Oh wait, why
5.
am I rolling a bargain die?
I don't know. Why did you
I'm just
roll a
gonna
bargain die?
You give me your 2 bargain dice.
A
Sorry.
5 and a 1.
Sorry about that, Brie.
You got
You
excited.
have you got your 2. You got no positive conditions, successful challenges. Okay, so you have a 5 and a 1
As a
your
bargain die.
bargain dice. So you get to decide how you want to pair up these black die. I'll let you know if for the outcomes missing on a 6.
With an escalation or a destroyed
It will
lead.
escalate a district in the city. which will add black die to any investigations done in that district.
That's
Right.
fun.
And destroy a lead, which
Yes.
will mean it can still have connections go through it, but can no longer be used to find answers.
Right.
And maybe the lead will just destroy the family heirloom right in your hand.
Right.
Right? Like that could be what happens. Crushes it into his own hand.
Ow.
The 3 is damaging a condition, and the 2 is you pin yourself onto the board. In the district you operate in, you take a damage to your own reputation, and if that lead is destroyed, your character dies.
Okay.
Right? Because someone's getting rid of you as the evidence, for some reason. So that what happens
I mean,
if
I
you
did
don't
just
clear that too.
I did just contaminate a crime scene.
So that's kind of interesting. Now, if you hit on the 5, you get to add a random lead or a connection. If you hit on a 6, you get to find an answer if there's room for the connections, or add a new connected lead.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I don't super want an escalation to happen or a lead to be destroyed. And I know, so I have a 6, but then
But you
I
also have
have
these
to.
bargains that you can take that could beat the 2.
You
Yes.
still break your principle once more.
The thing is, in order to beat the 6, you'll have to break your principle,
Yes.
unfortunately.
So what? I just like throw this thing like a shuriken at his face through the door.
'Cause what does it say? Do no
You're gonna do him
harm?
like Butters, get it right in his eye.
Yeah, my principle is do no harm. So I'd have to. I mean, I could potentially,
Or you
depending
could-
on how holed up you've been in your house, I could potentially be informing you that he's dead, which would suck for you.
or that I don't think he ever loved you. Just hurt him that way. Hurt him in the feels.
I'm upset.
He only loved me. I'm his #1 fan.
I mean, I am gonna break my principle to do that. Like that's
Okay,
that is a thing.
How
that
are
I'm
you
gonna
breaking
do.
your principle? What harm are you going to do?
I mean, does he? It's been a couple days, so he probably knows.
Words got around. Sure.
Word's
Yeah,
gotten
that's fine.
around. Like you're not that much
High
of a
profile
recluse.
case.
You know,
All right.
right? You know he's dead already. So I'm gonna.
But you know about the will. You know that Liz Moran was written on the will, not
this
him.
is what I was thinking. I was going back and forth between, you know, like I found this in like his stuff, and it looks like he was gonna get rid of it,
And leave
or
it all to this woman in
but
the maze.
but no, like his will that he had on him, like wasn't to you. Is what I'm telling you.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So that's gonna color in that box.
Unfortunately, it means you can also no
not
longer
doing
break
any
your
harm.
principles. Your principles have been shattered. you have no
Yeah.
more principles to break. So you can't use that
Woo!
to
Start
break
punching
anymore.
everybody.
Great over here.
To be fair, that's a hard principle to keep.
No, it's not.
Especially the way you've been playing.
It's not. I'm just a
I know
terrible
you're playing
person.
You're also playing like an admittedly self-destructive person from the Shatter. so.
I'm literally came into this game to make bad choices. So
No, exactly, it works. So
I love how the only one who hasn't broken his principle yet is the drug dealer.
Hey, in
'Cause
this
they're
world,
good people
drug
in
dealing
this
is
world.
an honest profession.
it's a different world. All right. So the
anyway, so
so then what do you want to pair your dice up with the 5 or the 2 or the 3 or the 2?
yeah, so then I'm going
You want to
to
put yourself up on the board?
kind of do.
right?
I mean, I contaminated a crime scene, so I feel like I
Yeah, they're-
belong on the board. Like they suspect me because if they went back into that crime scene after
Yeah.
me, my fingerprints are
Fucking
everywhere. Right?
You touched his body.
Probably hair.
But you can't,
like
the thing
I
is,
don't.
you can't be the Who, but you can be like attached to the world.
You can still be an
Totally.
accomplice.
I'm going up on that board. Like that is just I made bad life choices and now I'm on the board. That's what's happening.
Good job.
Oh, this is exactly how I wanted this game to go. All right, you're going up on the board.
Yeah, I'm going up on the board.
On a 5 hit, you are going to add a random lead or make a connection. Do you want to make a connection on the board, or do you want to add a random lead? Keeping in mind, you're now on the board. You can make a connection to you.
Oh my
We've
god.
got a
Oh
bit
my
of a
god.
map
Can I
going
make
on.
Can I make a connection
But
to
you've
him?
also learned about the family heirloom. You
This is
could
true.
connect to another lead there on the board.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm drawing myself the world's worst clip. Okay. So I'm gonna go up on the board. And I'm just looking at the board from here.
You're going to go up on the board first because we go in the
Okay.
order of the dice. So you go up on
right,
the
I'll do
board,
it.
and then you can make a connection to yourself if you want to anything. Or we can draw a random new lead on the board that's not connected to anything. And then you get to add a new connected lead.
So, I'm thinking that I think story-wise, what makes the most sense is to add a thing from me to Stephen Price's body being found in his office.
Okay, so you want to just
Story-wise-
have a connection from you to the body or to the crime scene?
To the
To the
crime
office.
scene. Not to him, it's to the office, because that's where
Okay.
all of my stuff was found. That's why I'm on the board.
Okay. And so that's your 5. For your 6, we're going to add a new connected lead or find an answer. Do you have enough connections on the board to find a new answer?
She does.
It's me to where the body was found to Cheryl.
And none of those were been used yet.
Nope. So that could potentially lead to a new answer.
Well, and the office also connects to Stephen,
Yes.
which then connects back up to his workshop, which also hasn't been used.
Yeah, but I love him so much. I'm inserting
Okay,
myself into
so
this.
you, yeah, no, you're now being used to find an answer.
Yeah.
So you and the crime scene and the secretary.
Yes.
How do we find an answer to those 2 questions? What?
It's either the why or the how, huh?
I think it'd be the
Can we draw for this?
how.
Yeah, the how makes the
How
most
is he
sense, I
killed?
think.
You saw
I
his
saw
body.
the body. I did
you get,
see
you
the
get
body.
the first and final say, Fortune. You now get to tell us what you found that day you were in the crime scene,
Oh my God,
corroborated,
this is-
by
this
the
is
way,
too
by
much
the
power.
secretary when we ask her, yup, that's how he was found dead. You, Bree, get to answer the question of how Stephen Prince was
How
killed.
he was murdered?
You can't say
And that's
that
really
wrong.
going to tell us, was it a murder because of a
Can't say what?
business
Can't say
prospect
love.
gone wrong? Or was it a murder of passion because of a love scorned?
I mean, do I say like physically? Like, are we going for physically how and also? No, because that's why.
Yeah.
It's literally just physically how.
How did
was he
What
murdered?
was the method?
What was the method in
Not
which
the
he
motive.
was murdered?
The method.
Okay.
And then all we got to figure next is we'll have the identity and we'll have the method. We just got to find out the motive, and then we have a guilty.
I mean, he was stabbed just like a lot. Like a lot.
By
Wow.
a small
Like-
glass pendant.
Because not even Marty got into that room. I
Yeah,
guess. Like, we
it's-
didn't see
He was stabbed a lot. There
in
was
the office.
blood everywhere, but I couldn't tell whether it had come from the body. Like, there was no spatter, is the thing. There's no blood spatter. It's just he
Okay.
was stabbed a lot, and he was in a pool of blood. His clothes were, like, ruined. Like, he'd been stabbed in the face a couple times. Like, whoever did this, it was brutal.
Okay, so well, we know who did it. It was Chris Chapman.
And he stabbed the fuck
And
out
he
of him.
stabbed the fuck
out of him. God damn it.
Okay, so
Okay,
I'm
so-
gonna go put circles on
So I'm just gonna we got another colored paper here. I'm gonna use
Yeah.
the let's use the
the pink one.
pink one. So it's is this how, right?
This is how. And I'm writing down
What's what was our time? Oh, we still got a little time.
just stabbed so much.
Just stabbed so much.
Even in the face.
Stabby McStabberson. Just stabby.
Stabby,
So
stabby.
much.
Stabby,
Much
stabby,
stab.
stabby.
Much stabbed, very stabbed. Remember the scissors?
Where are the scissors? Oh, you have.
Aha. And you answered. We have 2 answers down.
Success!
We only have 1 more to find.
And none of the districts have kicked us out yet.
And then can you give me the marker you used and I'll just circle everything off?
Yes.
While I'm there. We used that one, we used that
Yep.
one, and we used this one. Good.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna complete this
gonna solve it.
investigation. I know we're a little early. It's only 48 minutes into this episode, but I really like this moment where we've got our answer. We've got our who and our how. And next week, for the final episode of our Noirlandia investigation, we will, one way or the other, reach the end of this investigation. And hopefully we'll find another answer, or somehow we'll fuck things up and we'll escalate 3 districts and all die.
Die horribly.
Because things haven't really gotten dangerous yet.
We really just have to nuke everything.
But I've already had an attempt on my life, and now Fortune is a prime suspect in contaminating. She's a lead on the board. And if someone fails a roll and destroys the lead, that means someone like Chris Chapman is covering up the crime, knocking you out.
Just so much stabbing.
So much stabbing. And yeah, we've got this is coming along. What are y'all thinking so far as we enter into our final chapter?
I want to know why.
You want to know why? Why did Chris Chapman stab him
That is
so
literally
much?
the point of the game, so yes.
He stabbed him so many times.
Just so many.
Just so many times.
Excessive amount.
Why would Chris Chapman, industrial specialist, drug artisanal man, potentially in an affair with government official Liz Moran, stab famed author Stephen Prince so many times? Find out next week. And thank you for supporting us on Patreon, because you guys are getting a lot of spotlight in this game.
especially if you got stabbed
So many times.
so many times.
For the Terrible Warriors, I have not been your GM, Justin Ecock, surrounded here at the table by someone who is maybe going to be stabbed so many times.
Free poor life choices, Poisonne.
Who wants to know why there's so much stabbing?
Shane, the old man.
And he wants to know why stab. There's clear ways.
Shane Fitzgerald. Why?
Why?
We'll find out. Take it away, Justin. Well, The Terrible Warriors has new episodes every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Noirlandia will return in 2 weeks' time. One final hour to solve the crime. Meanwhile, on Thursdays, Derek the Bard is dealing with a thing. His players blew up his game, and so he's having to teach them a lesson. We return to The Strange, our final episode in this current arc, on Thursdays. And also on Tuesdays, alternating with Noirlandia, we're still playing Masks, the New Generation. Our new young team of superheroes takes to the streets for the first time, as ripples from the previous campaign will make themselves known. Are our heroes prepared? No. That's not gonna stop them. Masks on Tuesdays. Follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors. You can learn what we are up to as well as the things we are joking about. You can see the future by heading to terriblewarriors.com and clicking on our schedules page, where you can see some of the games we have planned for you. And if you would like to peer into the past, let's say you've just joined us and you don't know that we've been around for almost 5 years and we've played almost 100 campaigns, they're all available for you forever for free in our adventures page. And if you like what you hear and you'd like to hear more and you think we can do better, consider being a supporter at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. There you can be more involved in helping to choose the games we play and even being named in the games. Every person you are hearing in our Noirlandia campaign that isn't a player is the name of a Patreon supporter. And thank you so much for your help. We literally could not be doing this right now without you. Today's Terrible Warriors and your Noirlandia investigators were Bree Poisonne, Shane Baelish, Shane Fitzgerald, and Justin Ecock. And until we meet again, trust no one, ask questions to everyone, and don't go into unlit alleyways if you're not combat ready. And in doing so, you too can become a terrible warrior.